The next presentation, I would request Mr. Chetan Mistry, Senior Systems Engineer, RUCKUS Networks, to come on stage and talk about creating smart hospitals.
Thank you, everyone. So, my name is Chetan Mistry. I come from RUCKUS Networks, a Comscope company. So, just to brief you what our company is into, basically, RUCKUS Networks is basically a networking company which manufactures the networking products like LAN switches, wireless access points, and the related software. So we are a separate business unit within a company called Comscope. Comscope is basically into manufacturing of passive infrastructure for networking like your LAN cables, fiber, and etc. Comscope has a factory in Goa where we manufacture all these cables. So today my agenda would be to talk on our solutions that we have to offer as for the healthcare as a vertical. So I'll like to keep this short and sweet in the interest of time. So basically, so there are a lot of changes which are happening in the healthcare industry. So the main thing or the most important thing is the convergence of facilities and infrastructure into IT, right? So when I say facilities and infrastructure, so there are a lot of non-IT infrastructure facilities which are there, which are getting converged into basically your IT network, right? And the most important part of that is your different sensors or the endpoints which are part of the healthcare industry, like the solution which Schneider talked about, right? So basically you have these sensors, you have the database management software, but what is important is how do you get this connected over in your network, right? So that is what we provide as part of our solutions. So what are the needs? So there are multiple needs, when it comes to healthcare in terms of networking. So you will have the cameras, you will have the sensors which will connect to your network. Apart from your endpoints like your laptops and all, from a healthcare perspective, you will have a lot of PDAs which are being used by the nurses and the doctors. These also get connected over the network. Now, one thing is that how you connect these devices over the network, and the other part is what is very important is the security part. How securely you can connect this device onto the network, because you need to comply to a lot of regulatory compliances, the HIPAA and all those come into consideration, right? So whatever you see on these screens, right, whether it is IT or non-IT, today what is happening is all these endpoints are getting connected to a converged IT infrastructure. So in terms of IT, right, so basically the most important part or another important aspect is the patient care is getting migrated into the digital infrastructure, right? So there are a lot of services which are part of the patient care systems, right? Right from your applications which are hosted as part of these requirements, your portals. Then there may be these mobile kiosks as well, which the end user accesses. So all these get connected to the network, right? What is important is in terms of infrastructure part, basically, you need and the switches and the Wi-Fi access points with proper security. So in terms of networking, WPA 3.1x authentication, how securely you can authenticate these devices onto the network so your data remains secure. So as a part of solutions in terms of Wi-Fi, we have these IoT ready APs also. Now with these sensors supporting Bluetooth, Zigbee as a technology, the Wi-Fi access points are not just carrying Wi-Fi traffic. They are able to carry IoT traffic as well. So they have an inbuilt chipset for Bluetooth as well as Zigbee, so that they can connect these Bluetooth enabled sensors or Zigbee enabled sensors onto the same network for which you are using your LAN infrastructure. So you need not need a separate silo infrastructure for IoT and a separate infrastructure for your LAN, you can have this converged infrastructure, because the Wi-Fi APs which are coming into the industry support multiple technologies. When it comes to RUCKUS, not in India, but today our access points are able to basically carry IoT traffic, Wi-Fi traffic, and even cellular traffic. Although this, it is not approved here in India, but going in future, like these operators have their own, they purchase bandwidth or the frequency from the regulatory. You as a customers in future may be able to do that as well, and you can create your own private cellular network, like you create your own Wi-Fi network. So RUCKUS is in the forefront. In the US, we are deploying these private cellular networks as well. So when it comes to IoT, so like you have security for your Wi-Fi traffic, we provide a comprehensive security when it comes to IoT as well. So you see myriad of applications which can connect on IoT, whether it is, basically as simple as patient tracking, to your sensors, your health monitoring, your temperature monitoring, humidity control, all these things, even the rooms, the locks, the door locks can be secured. Sorry. This is another use case post-pandemic, basically, which is happening, right? So your outpatient testing, right? So you'll have a lot of these basically mobile healthcare centers, and then you need to create the infrastructure for your different use cases. Basically, like what you could do is basically, this telemedication app or telemedicine app which needs connected to which needs a proper infrastructure, so that you can send all these patient e-records to your main hospital, right? And not just connectivity, but also basically transferring this data securely through the physical medium that you have in your network. So what are the IoT solutions that we have? As I mentioned, the infrastructure we have, it's not only about carrying data, LAN data, but we have the hardware to carry IoT traffic as well. So we have these IoT ready APs, and a lot of use cases are there, basically in terms of patient care, or patient tracking, sensors to connect your locks and everything. So what RUCKUS has to offer in terms of, as I said, basically you have these APs which will connect to the network. Then we have the switches, through which you can connect different apparatus to the LAN network. And then we have, and ultimately all this infrastructure will help you to connect your endpoints, including your laptops, sensors, to your backend infrastructure as well. So we have a comprehensive infrastructure solution, IT infrastructure solution, so that you can connect your endpoint devices to your software, whether it is on-prem or in the cloud. Okay, so you see all these things, right? So basically security is very important. So right from your endpoint connecting to our infrastructure devices like your IoT, to the access points and to the management solutions that we have, we provide you with an end-to-end security right from the physical layer to the application layer. So you see different types of encryptions like AES encryption for Wi-Fi and IoT, MQTT for basically the IoT traffic that goes into the network right up till at the application level. So these are some of the use cases, like, and we have tied up with different ecosystem vendors like for these sensors. We have the software to integrate with any ecosystem vendor or any sensor vendor which is available, because we have the software which is open API and can integrate with any ecosystem vendor. So these are our global ecosystem vendors, but we can do with any ecosystem vendor when it comes to IoT. So this is another example where you basically a push button to for an emergency call. So basically we create the Wi-Fi infrastructure. The IoT is there. The panic buttons are IoT enabled. The backend software is connected through this infrastructure, and you can have this end-to-end connectivity and solution managed through RUCKUS. So security. So we have these sensors again. It is not only for healthcare, but as well as for pharmaceutical. So any infrastructure or any sensors can be connected. So this is an architecture of how it would look like for you. Like at the base level or the physical level, you will have the sensors and all. They connect to our infrastructure, which is the access points and the networking switches. We have our own softwares. These softwares connect to these ecosystem vendors because these softwares have an open API, and we can expose our APIs, and the data can be easily collected from our controller or our management solution and transferred to the ecosystem vendors software as well. So this is how basically the end-to-end architecture would look like. So basically, sorry. Yeah, so you will have all your traffic, whether not only the data traffic, voice, video, cameras, your IoT sensors, all through the same network infrastructure. Although the physical infrastructure is same, we will have a logical separation so that you can securely secure the different traffic in the same network and have it access for your users as well. So this is what we try to provide. We provide a very exceptional user experience through a very simple but a reliable hardware that we produce. Thanks. Thank you.
I'll ask Shobit to hand over a token of appreciation to Chetan.